I actually made a vlog on it. It's on YouTube, so you could even see it.
All right.
I just planted them. I come inside for like 10 minutes. We about to go to the city. I look out the window. The squirrel is literally following my tracks.
Yo.
Picking up every peanut I just planted. I'm
Yo.
like, bro, I just put that out there 20 minutes ago. Like, you couldn't even let me go the next day. Like, nah. And I know they be watching me from the trees. I know I could be hearing. I hear them talk sometimes.
Dude, that's a Tom and Jerry cartoon or something like.
I'm Tom to the fullest. I am Tom to the fullest. I can't catch a break with them.
All right. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Joe's Funland. I'm your host, Joe Ho, and today I'm joined with a very special guest. He is, first we met through doing modeling. You were a model.
Yeah.
I was a photographer. And then we talked a little bit, and then you told me you're a fashion designer. I'm like, okay, that's sick. And then you're like, oh, I also do personal training. I'm like, okay, obviously. And then you're like, oh, also, I'm a recording artist, and I rap. I'm like, oh, okay. And then you're like, oh, also, I do gardening. and also, I'm an entrepreneur. And I'm like, oh, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Juan. What's up, man?
What's up? What's up?
So I appreciate you coming through, man.
I appreciate you having me.
Yeah. Hold the mic just a little bit closer.
A little closer.
Yeah.
All
That's
right,
perfect. Yeah. But yeah, dude, the more I talk to you, the more stuff just comes out, and I'm just like, what the heck?
Yeah.
How?
I just grew up listening to all the music talking about commas. So I was like, I got to put a comma behind everything.
They're talking about your bank account, not your career path, bro.
Look, they should have said that.
Yeah, they didn't specify.
They didn't specify. They just said commas. I'm like, all right, music influencing me. I'm like, all right, commas.
All right. Out of all of those things that that you do or that you're involved in, though, do you have a favorite that you're like, that's my thing?
I would say my favorite is probably gardening.
Gardening,
just because it's the most peaceful out of all of them. All of them are really. It's a lot more. Well, the garden probably has the most work outside of the gym, but it's peaceful when you kind of see everything happen, and a lot of stuff you can't really control in the garden. So it kind of, I guess, calms me down. It stops me from having that control. So it makes me kind of sit back and just observe. So it's real peaceful.
Yeah. What that's honestly, that's the thing about you that I found out about you that threw me off the most. So I was like, because for me, like I don't know, my brain kind of associates gardening with like older people.
Yeah.
Like my grandpa, before he passed away, he was really into gardening. So like in my mind, I guess like my association is, okay, grandpas do gardening.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, I got a garden.
It's funny though, because I picked it up from my grandma.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my grandma
Oh,
gardens, and so I picked it up as a kid, and then once I moved into the house I'm in as an adult, I was like, you know what? I got the space. Let me try it. And then it's a rabbit hole.
Okay.
Deep rabbit hole.
That was good. That was going to be one of my questions was like, how did you get into it? So through your grandma.
Mm-hmm.
That's tight, man. Do you remember what the first thing you planted that you were like, oh, let me try this?
I remember one of the first things as an adult was beans and peppers, and I didn't know what I was doing. I knew how to grow it, but I didn't understand the plant, and it was crazy because I had already gardened before, but as a kid, but as an adult, I didn't really understand what the actual plant was. You know what I'm saying? Like I knew a pepper from just the pepper you eat, but not how it grows, stuff like that. And so I remember the first couple beans that I grew, I didn't even acknowledge them. I didn't acknowledge the peppers. It was just kind of like, oh, there's peppers on the plant. Cool. That's what they're supposed to do. And went on about my business. And then the more I started gardening, it just, like, I really saw it for what it was. Like, dang, this is a whole living organism. Like, this is basically a person. Just, how every person is different. This pepper plant is different. Even though it grows the same jalapenos as the next one, it's still completely different. Like, it's its own self.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it was just
that's crazy.
The deeper I got into it, it was just like, I'm like, damn.
How do you like navigate through that thing? Because I guess like since you said each one is different, then I'm assuming like even when you're going through like planting process, and like each one probably needs like a little different water or different like environments and stuff like that to like optimally grow. Like, how do you figure that out?
It's a lot of trial and error. It's a lot of trial and error, a lot of dead plants. That's one of the biggest things I tell people when they want to garden, or they're like, I want to get into it, but I'm gonna kill it. I'm gonna kill this plant.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill it. I'm like, you're gonna kill hundreds of plants. Like, that's just what comes with it, you know? So it's just, the more you do it, you kind of figure out what plant likes what. And then, cause you know, everything needs nutrients. So some stuff has nutrient, efficiency or deficiency, nutrient deficiency. And then some of them have nutrient toxicity. So once you kind of,
What does that mean?
so nutrient deficiency is basically like, say the plants aren't getting enough nitrogen, so the leaves are going to turn yellow, because that's what turns the leaves green, is them bringing that nitrogen in. And then if they have, say there's too much magnesium in the soil and they're pulling up too much magnesium, you'll see like spots on the leaves. And so that's just a sign like, oh, it's too much magnesium. So it's just little stuff. Yeah. But the more you kind of get into it, when I say it's a rabbit hole, like Alice in Wonderland type rabbit hole, like it's because I'm not even scratching the surface, and I've already gone so deep into it. But yeah, it's just so much, just relaying it to health. And that's really kind of also where it went. Once I started getting into gardening and I learned about herbs blew my mind. First time I smelled like some lemon balm, I'm like, this smells like a lemon. Why did they never teach us that other plants smell like lemons other than lemons and stuff like that? So it just really opened my mind. And so I was just like, dang, this is all full circle. Like, it all connects.
Yeah.
Like everything.
Dang. Dude, let's go down that rabbit hole, man. I'm down.
Yeah, we can. We definitely can. We can go down.
I'm down, man. I want to learn, yeah.
Yeah.
Because, for me, like, I do not have a green thumb. I have a black thumb. I'll kill every plant that I've touched so far. Like, I tried having a snake plant here one time. Tried growing one of those. Lasted about 2 weeks, and then it was done. I've tried planting like basil and stuff like that, because I like to cook too. So it's like,
gotcha.
I was like, oh, it'd be nice to have herbs, like fresh herbs to like cook. And if I had like basil or mint or like, you know, like rosemary, stuff like that, like I could use that in the kitchen all day, every day.
Yep.
But that didn't really. So I was like, oh, this is tough, man. Like, I don't know. What advice would you give someone who wanted to get started, but they're just like, yeah, nah, I'm gonna kill it.
I would say just start.
Just try it.
Just try it. I've nurtured some plants with everything I had, and they still died. And then some, I didn't give them any attention, and they thrived. So I would try it. You know, again, like every plant is different. So, you know, some people have, how do I say it? Like, are more prone to diseases. Some people are more prone to ailments and stuff like that. Same thing with plants. You're never going to know what it's prone to until it grows. Because even though its parent wasn't prone to it, it still may be. And you're never going to find that out until you realize what plant you're dealing with, and not just the species of plant. You know, kind of like dealing with people. If you deal with every person the same, yeah, you're probably not going to really do much, you know? Like, you got to kind of treat every person differently. And same thing with the plants. You kind of treat them differently, find out what they like, what they don't like, and then still some going to go.
That's true. That's true. Damn, that was deep, too. That was deep.
It's all just learning, and just, yeah, it's just learning.
Yeah, that's true. Because, like, even if you like peppers, for example, like, each pepper has so many little seeds inside. Like, if you cut one open, there's so many seeds in there. Mm-hmm. And then even if you plant each one's going to grow a little bit differently.
Yep.
That's true.
And so it's funny that you brought that up. So I bred peppers, I think it was 3 years ago. So I have my own pepper, like type of pepper. It was a red Savina crossed with a Bidjalakia black, which are both very, very hot peppers, like ghost pepper type heat.
Oh, dang.
And so...
Did you eat one?
I touched my tongue to it and immediately started sweating. It was so hot. Like, I done made hot sauce out of it and gave it to people, and some people said, like, yeah, it tastes good. Like, I ate it. I ate the whole thing. I'm like, look, when you eat it, like, don't eat it a lot. Like, marinate your food with it, but take it slow. Like,
yeah,
because it's super hot, but it has like a sweet smell to it for some reason. I think it's the red Savina, but I bred them. So I bred them the first summer. And So I had took those seeds. So those are called the first generation. I took those and then I planted those. I planted like 12 of them. Only, I think, I ended up with three. Three plants ended up coming out, but all 12 seeds sprouted. So it showed that the germination rate was pretty high. It was 12 out of 12. And then out of those three plants, all three were different. Even though they came from the same, well, the parents were different. So that's kind of where you find all those differences and stuff. Kind of like a black person dating an Asian and having a kid, you know.
Yeah.
They're not going to look like one might look black, one might look Asian, one might look mixed, you know, like completely mixed. One might just look a whole nother race. It's just so many genetic, like once the genetic pool comes together, it's so many things that can happen. And so same thing happened with the peppers. So then I took those peppers, planted them the next year. So that's the second generation. Came out completely different, like wild different. Some of them look like the parents, like each parent, but then some of them would look like the other parent. So technically their aunt, you know. So it's like it was just so crazy. So this year is my 4th year. So I'm gonna see if they start to get more homogeneous. So that's basically when they start to look more like the parents. So you kind of get it into I guess a straight line, if that makes sense. Just how we have different races, you know, the more that people kind of inbreed together, they start to look alike, and that's where you start to get those different races and stuff like that. But you never do until you open it up a little bit.
Yeah.
And then it also can potentially give you, because, you know, if things are bred too closely for too long, they become susceptible to all the same things because everything is the same. So kind of cross-pollinating out gives you a chance to, I guess, strengthen the genetics, you know, give it some variation. If this was good in a drought heavy area, but this plant liked wetness, if we cross these two plants, it might like both of them. But there's still going to be some of those lineage that only likes dry, only likes wet, but you'll never know until you start to plant those. So it's just, it is it's a lot. It's so much.
Dude,
And then,
yeah, that's cool though. I wonder, like, if, like you said, if it gets crossed with other, if you put them too close and it gets cross-pollinated with other things, like, I wonder if that changes, like, the flavor profiles of a lot of these, like if you try to eat or something like that.
So it wouldn't change the initial pepper that grows from that cross-pollination, but I'm sure the lineage, like whatever those seeds are, if you plant those plants and they have peppers, I'm sure they're going to have some differences, like in the flavor and everything.
That'd be crazy. That's pretty cool, to be honest. What about, like, I know you said the weather, like some do well in like super wet, some do well in super dry. Here in Georgia, the weather is unpredictable.
It wasn't.
We get 1 week of rain, 3 weeks of sunshine, and then another week of cold, and then 100-degree weather in the same month. Like, what kind of stuff grows well here?
Herbs definitely grow good. They grow really good, just because it doesn't get too cold in the wintertime. As far as like fruit, I would say fig trees grow very good. Blueberries. I have a cherry tree, but I haven't gotten any cherries because they have to be cross-pollinated. And, you know, they don't tell you that when you buy the cherry tree. So I bought one cherry tree, planted it, and now it's like almost 30 feet tall. And it's not going to get any cherries until I have another cherry tree, which I did get last year, but the deer came through and ate it. So, yeah. But yeah, what grows good? Well, peanuts for sure. You know, we got peanuts.
Peanuts for sure. Yeah.
I think really the biggest thing about growing in Georgia is having sunlight. If it's shady, it's a little bit harder for most plants. But corn, if you got a field, it's gonna grow. It's gonna go crazy. Sunflowers, peppers grow good. Watermelon grows pretty good. I want to say pumpkins. I would assume pumpkins. I haven't grown a pumpkin fully yet, but the plant has grown big. So I'm like, okay, I feel like if I had the right area, it definitely would. But my yard is real shaded, so
there's a lot of pumpkin patches around here too. So I feel like, like in the fall at least, I've been out to like I didn't grow it myself, obviously. But like, in the fall, like you're hanging out with, and they're like, oh, let's do pumpkin patches. There's a bunch of them around here. So
Gotcha.
I'm sure it'll probably grow pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely wanted to like have a pumpkin patch business because folks be spending bread on the pumpkins.
For
like,
sure,
when it comes
dude.
Halloween time, I'm like, bro, $3, $5, $10 pumpkins for not even using them. Like, to just sit on the porch. I'm like, bro, that's $30 a house.
Dude, yeah, you could make some money. Like, you can make some real money if you had a successful pumpkin farm.
Yeah.
You need a lot of land, though.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Charge folks to come on to do the pumpkin patch and then sell them pumpkin at the end. Like, hey, you think that?
Hey, new business idea, bro. Right? Hey, we'll talk after the pod.
Yeah,
we'll talk. Yeah, that would be sick, though. That would be cool. Do you have any plants that you like? It's like, oh, the hardest thing that you've ever grown, or like this is like you're ripping your hair out just trying to grow this thing.
I would say lettuce.
Oh,
lettuce,
really?
Yeah,
what?
lettuce. All of those leafy greens, cabbage, all of that stuff. Like, I've been successful in growing lettuce, but you have to start really in like December, January.
Oh, really?
And it's so hard to be outside in the yard when it's that cold,
That's
And so it's like, I can't do it. And I always wait too late. Every year I wait too late. And then, so lettuce, it can only grow, but the lettuce that we eat, like the leaves, they only grow up until it hits 80 degrees. Once it starts hitting 80 degrees, they do something called bolting, where they send out a main stem right out the middle, which turns into a flower, and that's how they reproduce. Because it's basically their defense mechanism stressing them out, saying, oh, end of the season, time to reproduce, start the next generation. So, with it, like how you said, the weather changes so much, it'll be 80 degrees in March, and then drop back down to 60, but your lettuce already bolted, and it doesn't go back once it starts bolting. It continues bolting. It doesn't matter what you do, it's done.
Oh, man.
And it takes away from the flavor too, because basically the plant is putting all of its energy into reproducing. So it's only worrying about this flower at the top. It doesn't really care as much about these leaves. So yeah, lettuce be tearing me up, because I'd be like, oh, I'm about to go harvest that lettuce, and then you start to see that sprout, you're like,
oh, that's tricky.
It's gonna be a little bit bitter, like it's not as sweet as it would have been.
Oh, man. Have you seen I was on YouTube and I was just like doom scrolling, and I saw this time. What?
The doom scrolling.
Oh, yeah.
YouTube will get you.
Dude, that's a rabbit hole in itself. That's a rabbit hole right there. But there was this one video that I ended up clicking on, and it was like a time lapse of, I think it was a lettuce or cabbage or something that was growing. And it's just like, yeah, you see over time the like leaves like coming out and like growing, and you see the like it start to form the actual shape of like what you recognize like lettuce to be at. I was like, dude, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's real cool to see, for sure.
That's crazy, man. Man, I wish you were into cooking, dude, because this information is so vital to like cooking. But you don't like cooking.
It's not that I don't like cooking. I don't like washing dishes.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just always something that's gonna be there when you gotta cook. So it's like, you know what? If I don't want to wash dishes, I don't need to eat.
Dude, yeah, because all this information is like so, like it translates so well to the kitchen. Like it's just, but then you're just like, I don't want to do the dishes.
Yeah, I can't. I can only do half of it. I can do the gardening part. I just need somebody else to cook.
Yeah.
I need somebody else to be like, okay, oh, you growing that? All right, I can make this. And be like, oh, okay, you can make that? Bet. I'm bringing it.
Yeah. Do you use, because I know you do juice as well. Like y'all sell your own juices and stuff. Do you use that stuff that you grow in your juices?
I don't use it for the juices, but I also make kombucha. And so I use a lot of the herbs in that kombucha to kind of flavor it and stuff like that.
Oh, dang.
So, like, I just made a kombucha with hibiscus, which I bought that from the store. But then I added mint, lemon balm, and pineapple sage that I grew.
Okay, dang.
So we're going to see what it, and some honey. So we're going to see what it tastes like. It should be done probably tomorrow, honestly.
Okay.
So,
damn, that's sick.
Yeah. But I don't use a lot of the stuff in my garden. I just be too lazy. I'm not even going to hold you. I really do.
You put in so much work.
So much work, and I just kind of let it go, Like I got kale out there.
What the heck?
I got 4 kale plants, and they all ended up bolting. But I had a chance to harvest them, and I just didn't. Like part of it is laziness, and part of it is they just look so good growing. It's like
Yeah.
I don't want to stop this, you know. I just want to let it keep doing what it's doing. But
It's art in its own way, kind
Yeah.
of. Yeah.
it's crazy art, crazy art.
But then you just let it.
Yeah, I'm just like you know, or like the deer come through and tear it up. Like
Oh,
the deer
yeah,
come
yeah.
through at night, eat up so much stuff. I'm going through it with the squirrels right now. Every time
yeah.
I plant corn, they take the corn out. Every single time. I planted it 2 times.
Like they dig into the ground and they get it.
and take it out. Same with the peanuts. Peanuts, corn, and sunflowers. Plant them, they get taken out.
Oh, jeez.
Like next day. Matter of fact, one time I planted it. I actually made a vlog on it. It's on YouTube, so you could even see it.
All right.
I just planted them. I come inside for like 10 minutes. We about to go to the city. I look out the window. The squirrel is literally following my tracks.
Yo.
Picking up every peanut I just planted. I'm like,
Yo.
bro, I just put that out there 20 minutes ago. Like, you couldn't even let me go the next day. Like, nah. And I know they be watching me from the trees. I know I could be hearing. I hear them talk sometimes.
Dude, that's a
the
Tom
squirrel
and
be-
Jerry cartoon or
Bruh.
something like that.
I'm Tom to the fullest. I am Tom to the fullest. I can't catch a break with them. Like, nah. And last year was chipmunks, but I think a possum has been in the yard, so I think it took the territory. So now it's just the squirrels, but squirrels ain't no better, like at all.
Dang, man. I want to kind of go back into the juice thing because I know that you guys, that's kind of like your business right now is y'all do, well, you also do your fitness and stuff as well, but then you also sell juices on the side. How did you get into doing all that?
The juices or the fitness or both?
Let's start with juices. Let's start with
juices.
juices. Yeah. Unless fitness kind of plays into
Well,
it.
yeah, I'll start with fitness then because I started fitness first. Fitness really, I've been in the gym since I was like 13, like doing sports and stuff, football. And then once I graduated, I tried to go pro in track. It didn't work out, so I just ended up getting into the gym. Then I started training my dad, and I was in there for like 3 hours a day. So I'm like, I might as well just be a trainer if I'm going to be in here anyways. You know?
Yeah.
And I enjoy it. I like helping people get to where they're trying to get to, especially in the fitness aspect. Because it is really hard, but it's like it's real rewarding when you really kind of see yourself change from what you were and see your confidence go up and energy, all that kinds of stuff is really rewarding. And you can't really buy that nowhere else. Like you can buy it temporarily somewhere else, but
Not the
it's,
same.
yeah, it's not the same. Something that you worked for and you were like, those days I'm tired, I don't want to do it. And then you get something from you like, okay, it was worth it. And it makes other things in your life easier to get through because you're like, oh, I'm not going to get it immediately. I got to go 3 months before I see anything. And then once you can do that, you can do that with anything else. But I've always been a health freak. And so the gym kind of made it worse. Like, worse. I put that in quotes because, you know, some people like it, some people hate it. Some people are like, oh, you take everything too serious. You don't want to eat that. You don't want, no, I don't. Not eating that. But basically, I started doing this free Saturday workouts and stuff like that. And then just seeing that people wanted to get healthier kind of pushed me more towards doing the juicing. First time I juiced, I went to my parents' house, found out that they had a juicer. I was like, yeah, I'm thinking about getting a juicer. They're like, oh, we got a juicer. I was like, what? I like, pull that out right now.
Where was this the whole time?
The whole time. It was just sitting I think it was sitting in their garage. I had my dad go grab it. I was like, nah. And I told him, I said, yeah, y'all are using this. Y'all are, I'm not, I was like, there's no question mark at the end of this. There's a period. Y'all are going to start using this juicer. And so me and my mom, we would go to the market every Sunday, juice. And then I got my homeboy who's juicing with me now, my business partner. Mm-hmm. And he started juicing at his house. And so we was talking about recipes and stuff like that. And then when we ended up moving in together, we was like, oh, we need to do this during the summer, during the workouts as a way to get it started, even start going. So we don't even know how far we're going with it. It was really just planned for the summer. So, yeah, I don't know where it's going. But, yeah, it was just, we kind of just, again, a rabbit hole. Once you start, you just continuously go because you, like, I can't drink nothing. I don't drink. I drink water and the juice that I make. I hate drinking anything out of bottle because first thing I do is turn it around. And every time it says 50% of your daily sugar in one serving. And then it'd be like 4 servings. And I'm like, bro, this is 2 days worth of sugar in one drink. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if I was to drink this, like, right now and not drink nothing else, no sugar for 2 more days, like, my body was never supposed to have 200% of sugar at one time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not supposed to happen.
That'll
Like,
mess you up.
yeah, tear you up. And so I that just threw me all the way off. I checked the ingredients to everything. Folks hate it. Folks hate it. They be like, oh, yeah, I just got this. I'd be like, let me see it. Like my clients, I'd be like, let me see. Send me a picture.
Yeah.
They send me a picture. I'm like, yeah, nah, it got this in it. They're like, dang, but it tastes good. I'm like, yeah, but that's why. Because it got that in it. Like,
That's how they get you.
yeah, that's how they get you. Like, I don't even eat Chick-fil-A no more once I started finding out. And that was a hard one. I was like,
Really?
yeah, I don't eat Chick-fil-A
Dude,
at all.
how did you give up Chick-fil-A? I eat that all the time, man. I don't know if
I went on their website and seen so much sodium. And yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, who goes on Chick-fil-A website and they menu and looks at the...
You do?
I was sitting at work one day and I'm just like, and I think they had provided us Chick-fil-A, so I ate it, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, you know what, let me see what's in this.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked, nah, I'm done. I'm good. Like, nah. And then they said something about they had like 50 ingredients in a chicken sandwich. I'm like, bruh, it should only be flour, water, and maybe an egg in the bun. And then the chicken, some flour, and some seasoning. Where are y'all getting 50-something ingredients? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, can't do it. Can't do it. Like, nah.
Dang.
So I don't eat beef no more. I don't eat pork. I don't eat shellfish. But it wasn't all at one time. It just
Yeah.
But yeah, I just cut it out. I was just telling my homeboy the other day. I was like, I'm the type of person I like to go without. Like, it's not a problem for me to go without. Just like food. That's why I don't eat.
Dude, that's crazy. I would imagine Chick-fil-A is probably, out of all like the fast food restaurants, that's probably the more healthier ones too.
That's what I thought.
I would imagine, yeah. So now that you said that, I'm just thinking like, what does like McDonald's got, bro?
Look, I ain't had McDonald's in like 4 years.
what does Wendy's have in their stuff, man?
Apparently it's never frozen. I don't know how they do that. I don't know how they do that.
I don't know. Yeah, it's got to be some crazy like preservatives in there to never be frozen.
Never be frozen.
It's got to be made of plastic or something like that. Because that's insane, dude.
It's that what is it? That printed meat, you know, that they be making that lab grown. It's some lab grown meat. You ain't gotta freeze it.
Have you ever tried what's it called?
The Impossible?
Yeah.
No, not doing it. I don't trust them at all. Like, it's impossible. It's in the name. You know what I'm saying?
It's literally impossible.
Like they you know how they be saying like, oh, the higher ups or whatever, they be doing, like they be blatant about it. I feel like that is a perfect example. It's the Impossible Burger.
Yeah.
And everybody knows what the definition of impossible means. It can't happen. So how are we eating something that can't happen? You know what I'm saying? Like, nah. Right when they called it, if they could have called it they should have just called it a plant patty or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, but impossible? Nah. You're not catching me over there.
Yeah, I didn't even look at the ingredients on that thing, but I think I got it one time just to try it, and then like just try to compare it to like a regular beef patty. Mm-hmm. It's not even that good.
For real?
Yeah. Like beef tastes way better for sure. So I'm like, people are thinking this is healthier. They don't even know what the ingredients are.
In it?
Yeah, at least beef, I know what it is. I know the ingredients in it. The Impossible Burger is like, what
are we talking about?
What is this? Nobody knows.
Nobody knows. And so I worked for Zaxby's corporate a couple years ago. Do you remember they had the chicken sandwich war with Popeyes, and I think Chick-fil-A got in it? Well, Zaxby's, I don't know what they was on. They ain't hop in it. They should have hopped in it. They made some money. But what was it? Popeyes had their new chicken sandwich. It sold out. Remember, everybody was in line. It sold out.
People were fighting for it.
Yeah, they was fighting. But Popeyes literally sold out of all their chickens, right? Mm-hmm. And then the next week they had more chickens. How do you sell out of chickens and then the next week you have fully grown chickens? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. Like, where did y'all just pop up? Yeah, like, how do you just pop up with chickens? Like, that doesn't make sense. Like, we're not talking about an iPhone. Oh, that's more metal. You just got to cut up, and you know what I'm saying? But we're talking about a life. How did you rush a life in a week? It don't make sense to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, I had one Popeyes chicken sandwich, and that was only because we was at Zaxby's, you know what I'm saying, testing it, like trying it compared to ours.
Yeah.
Besides that, no. Not eating that Popeyes chicken. They like, bro, everybody's eating it. That's why I'm not eating it, bro. Everybody's eating it. Like, that's not happening. Nah,
Yeah, you're like, I'm not trying to be like everybody
no,
else.
not at all. Not at all. Shoot, I ain't even went and seen the Sinners movie because everybody went and seen it. I'm like, oh nah, because if they messed up, if they like manipulated everybody just a little bit, and we all seen the movie, we all gonna be thinking a certain way at least for a week. Like for a week, everybody like, oh, can't do this or can't do that, can't do this.
Yeah.
That's how all movies go. And so whenever the movie too hype, leave me out of it. Cause
All right, to be fair though, it was a good movie though.
I heard it was.
Yeah,
I heard
yeah.
it was, but like my argument was like I didn't want it to change me. Like how the Avengers, like did you see the Avengers Age of Ultron? Even the last one, even the one with the Endgame. Like just them ideas of dang, the earth too crowded and some people gotta go. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it normalizes stuff like that. And so it makes you kind of just okay with it. You know what I'm saying? Like it gives you a reasoning in like that you can see, not you're just hearing or reading, you're actually seeing it happen, seeing the outcome, stuff like that. So I remember watching Age of Ultron and I was thinking different after. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you know what? The robot was actually kind of spitting. You know what I'm saying? And I'm
Dude,
like,
you're one of those guys who watches the movies and roots for the villain.
nah,
That's what you do.
Look, I was on Thanos' side too. I'm not even gonna hold you. Thanos was
the Earth
cooking.
is too populated. There are too many people. What the?
You know what I'm saying? So I was like, bruh, if it's a lot of people thinking the same way, we've all been got. You know what I'm saying? Like they got us. Like, so I'm like, yeah, nah. Can't go for it. I need to wait till it died down. I see how people react after, and then it's like, all right, I'll go watch it then.
Yeah. Well, when it comes out on like streaming or whatever, I would recommend it. It's
all right, bet.
Sinners was a good movie.
Okay, man. I'll tap in. I'll tap in.
Dude, that's crazy though.
Look, I'm paranoid. I can't go for it at all.
That's so funny, man. I wanted to ask you as well. I know you said you used to work at Zaxby's corporate, and then you left that. What made you kind of like take that jump? Because you left that to do fashion, right?
Shoot,
Or-
nah.
What?
Shoot, they had fired me like 2 days before my birthday. And
Oh,
so
what?
yeah. Like
Okay, I didn't know all
Yeah,
that.
they was moving real funny. They was moving funny from like my birthday's in January. They was moving funny from the previous March. So I just already started stacking up my bread. So when they started getting on their stuff, I was like, all right, it is what it is. So then they got rid of me. And then I didn't have a job for like a year, but it was basically I was pursuing everything that I was. They basically gave me the jump that I needed. You know what I'm saying? Like them pushing me out kind of had me like, all right, well, I don't need y'all money and I got time. So I just basically took that entire year to learn myself, learn what I wanted, and kind of it was really just a learning year.
Yeah.
Everything was learning. Everything was investing. Any money I got was going into something else that maybe could make money. If not, could teach me something to do something else. And that's really the shoot kind of gave me the ability to even start modeling, because I just started modeling last May 31st. So it's not even a full year of at least runway modeling. But just, that security. I feel like that's what I needed. The security taken away to be like, all right, Juan, you got to get on your bully. You know what I'm saying? Like anybody can do you any type of way at any moment. You know what I'm saying? And life goes on. You know what I'm saying? Like there is nothing's fair. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't fair, but it was like, it is what it is. Like, what am I going to do? Keep trying to tell people how wrong I got done, or, go to this person. Hey, yeah, Zaxby did it. Oh, Zaxby did it. It was like, you know what? I ain't ate Zaxby since. I ain't went up there and ate nothing. And folks come to my house. Anytime somebody come to my house with Zaxby's, I be like, bruh, we don't eat that.
not
Not here.
here.
You know
Not
what I'm saying?
here.
We don't eat that. Get in their car, you see the Zaxby cup, you just like, bro, you couldn't go to Huey Magoo's or, you know what I'm saying, Cane's or something.
Yeah, but you can't play victim in that kind of situation though.
No.
Yeah, you really can't. You just gotta, like, if you, even if you did, like, you got done wrong, but it's like, you're gonna complain your whole life, or you're just gonna do something about it.
Yep. And I was complaining for the first 2 weeks. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was complaining like, bro, how they do this? It's right before my birthday. You know what I'm saying? So I was complaining, but then I was just like, you know what? I was built for this. You know what I'm saying? Like, this was, I already knew that they was gonna do it. I already saved up. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people definitely like. I feel like that happening gave me more respect almost, because people see me not pursuing a job and pursuing my passions. So it made people around me were like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna go work this job, but let me make sure I'm taking my job money to fund my life. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just running back and forth between house and job, house and job, house and job. You know what I'm saying? And the only time you got ideas is when you at work talking about, oh, I think we can do this to make more money. And it's like, bruh, look in the mirror and say the same thing to, you know what I'm saying? Say the same thing to yourself. We can do this to make money. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, it might fail, but you ain't never gonna know until you try. And so that's been my biggest thing, is just trying as many things as I can. If I fail, I fail. If I don't, I don't. But shoot, it's been working so far, because you know what I'm saying? I wasn't modeling. I wasn't doing a lot of stuff until I just started doing it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And again, everybody is gonna look at you funny the first time, first 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times, but then eventually they're gonna be like, dang, he ain't stopped. Oh, it's working. Oh wait, all right. Now they got questions. Now it's this. Now it's, oh, you've been doing this, and like, you wasn't thinking that, but I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I believed in myself. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's just really what you got to do. Luckily, they forced me to believe in myself. You know what I'm saying? By getting rid of me, that's all I could do. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't sit there and keep complaining. After 2 weeks, folks were looking at me like, so you looking for a job? I'm like, nah, I don't want to get a job. And they're like, well, why you keep talking about it? And I'm like, you know what? Cool. You know what I'm saying? Let me get on my bully. Let's go.
Let's go. 100% agree, man. And yeah, that's one of the reasons why I wanted to get you on this podcast too, is just because like I knew you used to work corporate, and then I know now that you're just kind of like more carving your own path, but I didn't know all of that in between, like what happened from point A to point B. That honestly, that's one thing that I really do respect about you too, is that like you do seem like that kind of person who you're just like, yeah, if I want to try this, I'm going to try it, you know? And because I know how you got into modeling and all that, and I've seen a lot of your modeling growth as far as like being able to work with you, and also just seeing like from when you started to like where you're at now. And I'm just like, yeah, you got it, man.
Well, shout out to you for that too. You know what I'm saying? For them lessons and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'll definitely be still using them.
Oh, yeah, but it's just like, I honestly respect a lot of people that are like that, where it's like you're not afraid to kind of carve your own path, right? And like that's something that I also try to do myself, and I'm trying to do right now with like this podcast.
Shit that you're
like,
doing.
Yeah,
you already doing it. We here right now.
Yeah, but it's just like it is scary sometimes to like take that leap, and you're just like, what if it don't work out?
Yeah.
But I'm just like, I would rather try than not try. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah.
That regret tear you out. I be telling folks, regret the biggest killer in my eyes. Like, I think most folks that die, even from cancer and stuff, is regret. Like, that regret eats you up on that deathbed before cancer does. It's like, dang, I should have did this. I should have did that. I should have did this. And that just tears you up. Cancer ain't even did nothing yet. You just, you did it to yourself. You know, all that regret. So, yeah, I feel like no regret, or at least trying not to have as much regret. You know what I'm saying? Because regret's going to happen regardless. Whether you do the right thing or the wrong thing, you know, you never know how it's going to work. Mm-hmm. But at least you can say you did something. You know what I'm saying? You can always say, I tried. Like, you can't say I didn't try. You know what I'm saying? Can't never say I didn't try.
That's
you can
true.
say I didn't win, but you can't say I didn't try. So
that's true.